The first thing I say is when you're capturing something and you're looking through the viewfinder, you want to put in as much as you can that has to do with your subject and get rid of as much as possible that's distracting. Obviously, sometimes you can't. Something stationary. So you can say the same thing. Color could be the distraction that you need to get rid of.
Welcome to the Big Photo Hunt Podcast, a show where we talk with aspiring and professional photographers to help us all grow and improve our photography together. I'm your host, Ken Deckinger. If you're one of our community members and you'd like to be a guest on the show, please visit bigphotohunt.com for more information. My guest today is Rebecca Kowalsky. She's a photographer and a YouTuber out of Jerusalem, Israel. And not only is Rebecca just super cool, but it has been super fun to watch her YouTube channel grow from the ground up to, at the time of recording this podcast, 22,000 subscribers. And she deserves it. Her content is helpful and valuable, not to mention enjoyable to watch. One of the videos that she put out was about black and white photography and the conversation around whether to shoot black and white or color. And if you've listened to this podcast before, then you'll know that I am colorblind. I see colors. I'm what's called red-green colorblind. And so what that means is I don't see red or green unless it's really cranked up in the saturation. And so colors like blue and purple can oftentimes look alike to me because purple, it's just blue with some red in it. And so I reached out to Rebecca and I wanted to have her on the podcast to talk about black and white photography and just to get to know her as a fellow photographer. Plus, I started a YouTube channel a couple months ago. It's new, and my first video actually had like almost 13,000 views, which totally shocked me. But then I've got a lot of videos here that are like 50 views, 80 views, 100, and that's just part of the game when you're starting out. But I tell you this because Rebecca is the person that inspired me to pull the trigger and jump into YouTube. And so for that reason alone, she holds a special place in my heart. And that's on top of the idea that she's just an awesome person and an amazing photographer. So I'm incredibly excited to talk to Rebecca today. We'll talk about her. We're going to talk about her life, YouTube, and of course, we're going to talk about black and white photography tips. And so sit back and relax unless you're walking on the street or driving. Don't sit back and relax if you're driving. I mean, you can relax, but just keep your hands on the wheel and enjoy my conversation today with photographer Rebecca Kowalsky. Hi, Rebecca. Hey, I like that Mediterranean tan you have going on.
That is purely from running from the early morning. The sun is already so strong.
Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it and was really looking forward to chatting.
Me too. I can talk photography with anyone, especially someone that's like as nice as you. I'm in, as you say.
You don't know me yet, so don't say that.
Keep it. Okay. I'm gonna take the risk.
Okay. So wait, before we start, are you from Israel or you made Aliyah or what? Did you move there?
I'm from Chicago originally. I made Aliyah in 1985 when we were 25 years old. That's 40 years ago. Now we're 65, my husband and I. We had one child at the time who was a year old. He is now 41. And we have 6 children and 15 grandchildren. So.
Wow.
Yeah. They keep me busy also.
Yeah. And where are they? Where are they all over?
Good question. One lives here where we live in a city. Most are in the Jerusalem area, let's put it that way. And 2 are in the Tel Aviv area, more in central Israel.
Cool. Very cool. So one of the reasons I really want to talk to you about was because you were talking about black and white versus color photography. And the reason is because, and I've mentioned this in my podcast before, it's because I'm colorblind. And so it's been a really interesting journey to me to create color photographs, and then especially getting into Lightroom and like moving dials and sliders and not seeing any change.
So how do you deal with that?
So kidding aside, it's red-green colorblind. So I see other colors. And the way I deal with it is either one, I have a friend, his name is Ken Lee. He's also colorblind, he's a photographer. And he gave me some tips about adjusting like the saturation so you could see what it's impacting and the contrast so you could see like where it's impacting and then bringing it back down. Or the other way is I just close my eyes and think my photos are amazing and not know that the greens and the reds are all wrong.
It's nice not to live in reality.
Yeah, I'm a professional at that. So I have a friend, his name is Steve Anchil. He is a photographer. And, a while back, he's just like, just shoot black and white. But I like color. I guess maybe it's because I can't see it, but I like it. And so I would love to talk to you about your take on black and white versus color. And also when black and white might be more appropriate, what it achieves versus what color achieves, and how, you could shoot in both and why go one way or the other.
Yeah, okay, so first of all, I'm going to go backwards. One of the people that found me on YouTube, I'm not going to mention the name, and started following me on Instagram, every person that writes me a comment, I answer it. And every single person that follows me on Instagram, I go to their account, look at it, and try to find one photo that moves me and like it. So this specific person his thing is that he posts a photo in black and white and color. And I don't like that. I think we need to make a decision. It can be all the time black and white, it can be all the time color, or one or the other whenever. But I think there's a laziness, or we need to make a decision. The same way I talked about the photo essay, like we get so emotionally attached to our images. But when we take, 200 images on let's say a street photography outing, they're not all good. I mean, the master street photographers didn't have all their photographs that they considered good. And I said in my last video, I don't know if you had time to watch it, I mentioned to neighbors of ours where the husband's got a good eye, and he's the photographer of the family. I said that my husband, Yossi, and I want to go to Vietnam. And he's like, oh, we went there and we have some photo books. So they gave me 2 photo books, one from North Vietnam, one from South Vietnam, whatever. And it was just boring. Not because I think my photos are better than someone else. It's just too many. So what I'm trying to say is make a decision. This photo is going to be black and white. This one's going to be in color. Okay, that's general. Obviously, I might come to you and say, Ken, I have this shot. I really decide. I love it. It's both monochrome and color. That could happen. So there's the obvious answers. If you're trying to show something, from the past, there's some kind of nostalgia, black and white. If something is a very high contrast image with strong lights and darks, that's something I love playing with. Like if it's, that Mediterranean sun in the middle of the day in Jerusalem or Tel Aviv, and you get an alleyway, and then you just expose for the highlights, and you have a very dramatic, mysterious image. Those are usually going to look better in black and white. Obviously, if there's something, everyone's wearing a blue shirt or something matching, you'll go with that in color. So those are the general guidelines that I think most people would agree with. I'm not saying anything controversial here. And the real issue is the color adding something? Because when we teach photography, when I teach a beginning student, the first thing I say is when you're capturing something and you're looking through the viewfinder, you want to put in as much as you can that has to do with your subject and get rid of as much as possible that's distracting. Obviously, sometimes you can't. Something stationary. So you can say the same thing. Color could be the distraction that you need to get rid of. And black and white is making a comeback. It's like I have a few film cameras. I've been taking this camera out lately for fun with always black and white.
That's cool. Yeah. I want to try one of those.
Try it. It's still hard to get used to. Like I move to the right because I want to go to the right, but I got to go to the left. It's hard. That's another reason it's good though.
What would you classify that? What kind of camera? Like, how do you?
That's a medium format. It's 120 film. Like it's a 6x6 negative, 6x6 centimeters.
And you look down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look down from the top.
You know,
That's
I had
cool.
to put, tape here what ISO the film was. This is like really, really basic. Some of them, they have a little dial. Here, no. I'm like, I picked up the camera last week and I said, oh, shoot, I have 6 more frames and I don't remember what it was. And I guessed right. So
I don't know if you can see here
your collection.
My wife,
sure.
Where are we going here? Yeah. My wife's grandfather, who passed away maybe like 15, 20 years ago, these were all his, and we had no idea. But then my mother-in-law moved out of her house recently, and we did a cleanup and found these. And there's all kinds here. Here, wait, hold on. I'll show you the one that's cool that I want to take out and use. I haven't used it yet.
Oh, wow.
This is a Zeiss Icon. I'm pretty sure it's from Germany, from like pre-World War II. So for our listeners, it's got like this accordion type lens in the front. I opened it, now I don't know how to close it. And so
that happened to me once, that the thing broke and I couldn't close it.
Yeah, I started like jiggling around. I'm like, all right, this thing's toast if I jiggle too much. Yes. I did some research on some of these Zeiss cameras. Germany used to be like the king of camera manufacturing before World War II. Japan wasn't even really in the game. And at the time, the cameras that Japan made, they were kind of considered almost like the way Chinese products are today, like copies, and like they were inferior. After World War II, 2 things happened. One was Germany's camera factories all got destroyed. They were all bombed. And so they didn't exist anymore. And then the second thing was the Japanese companies, the Japanese government went to them to ask them to make some type of lenses for the war. And so they got really good at making lenses during World War II. And after the war, there was no more German manufacturing market for cameras. Japan had spent World War II mastering their lenses. And so they went heavy into making cameras and became good at camera manufacturing.
I mean, I knew Germany was good at it, but I didn't know that's how it evolved.
That's what I learned. I hope I'm right.
No, if you read it.
One thing that's really interesting that you mentioned in relation to black and white, and how the idea that, you want to add color if it adds value and kind of remove it if it doesn't. I actually think that's really interesting because that's one of the things that I had to learn. I have a long way to go in my photography. But if you look now where I was versus 5 or 6 years ago, I mean, it's night and day.
I also have a long way to go.
I think everyone does, right? Like,
yes,
we all kind of.
That's what I'd say.
Yeah. I'm hoping 5 years from now, you look back and.
As long as you're moving forward. That's
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. But one of the things I learned was this idea that, less is more in a lot of cases. And the idea of, when you're composing your frame, some things you want to take things out of it that are distractions or not adding value. And then the thing you mentioned that I completely agree with is with series, less is more. People put on social media, they'll dump like 48 photos for a trip, right? And the reality is 6 or 7 are good.
Right.
Like that's a good amount.
Who has the time for that? And you could say what you want to say about whatever it is, your trip, even your family, you just, and I'm telling you that with the album, like I love looking at photos, but we all have photos that don't come out great. Don't put it in the book. And then it's a cohesive unit. I've been feeling that more and more. Every workshop I do, I give 2 assignments to my students. 1, send me your favorite photo. Like, what do you think is your best photo? Then I said, tell the story of our outing. I give them a limit, 5 to 10 photos, which makes you think. And I said the best photo does not necessarily have to be in that unit of your essay. It might have nothing to do with it. It might just be a beautiful photo, composed well, whatever it is. But the unit that's telling the story about our outing to the market or to the railway station, whatever it is, your best photo might not really fit in with the group that you've chosen because you need a cohesive unit.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because like I've learned that, but to hear you say it cements it for me because let's just say again, 6 or 7 photos from a trip and that 8th photo may have been really good, but it has nothing to do with the story and it devalues the whole story.
Right. And it's so hard for us it's like we're insulting ourselves by taking it out. One of the videos that I made that did well was about light, catching light and finding it wherever. Nothing to do with studio lights, natural. Then this video on the photo essay did 4 times as well. People, I think, are thirsting for meaning in whatever it is. And that has something to do with meaning. Because the same thing like you said, less is more. The more you just pour something on, it's just less meaningful.
I think that makes total sense. And I've had to learn this. Every day I'm learning something new on photography.
How do you study? Like, is it just from reading up, from social media? How do you move forward?
Two things, I guess I would say. One is social media, a lot of like YouTube and like just getting different perspectives and then going out and practicing what the perspectives are that I've learned. Also, what's interesting is having the big photo hunt. I send a newsletter out every Tuesday to our membership. It features the top photos. So every week the community picks their favorite photos. And so I feature the top photos. Here are the top photos that you picked, and we celebrate the members.
How is it chosen, Ken?
On the website. So people go on and they put a photo up on the big photo hunt, and they're only allowed one photo a week.
Okay.
Then the community upvotes their favorites. So they just go on.
Got it.
And then at the end of the week, whichever photo has the most upvotes, whichever 10 photos have the most upvotes, are what we call the weekly top 10. So there's that. Every month when I come out with a new podcast episode, I'll feature the podcast in the newsletter, these things. But one of the things that I've been doing is also now adding a small article that is a photography tip. And because I'm learning along with everybody else, like I don't know what tips, like I'm not a teacher. So what I do is I am looking for topics and things to then share with our community. And then I go out and practice them. So it's forcing me to practice them.
Right. I do the same thing. I opened a WhatsApp group, which you're welcome, I can send you the link to it. Whoever wants. I mean, do you guys use WhatsApp in America? We're all addicted to it here.
Yeah, I'd say WhatsApp. It's not as saturated as like the rest of the world, though.
Yeah, we use it a ton. So I opened a WhatsApp group. People all over the world are on it. And I usually once a week post a tip. And I'll put a sample photo that will illustrate the tip. But it also causes me to think and learn and solidify something, even if I know it. It's a great way to learn.
Hi, it's Ken. I'm sorry to break into the show, but if you're a new listener, I wanted to say welcome, and I wanted to introduce you to the Big Photo Hunt. We're an online platform for amateur photographers to grow and come together. It's really cool, and it's arguably the world's most friendly photography community. It's really friendly. If you have a moment, come check us out at bigphotohunt.com. And now, back to the show. It's a terrific way to learn. And it's a good perspective, because then I get to write in my articles, like, here's what I did. Here's what it taught me. And here's what I would challenge you to do. So that's one of the ways that I'm trying to grow.
I actually went to, and still go to, a school in Jerusalem called Musrara. It's a famous photography school there. It's an artsy thing, and it took me, and I think it's still taking me time to really, you see how the light is on your face, it's nice and even. You see how the light is on my face? That's what Musrara would want. Half.
I was noticing your light. It's amazing.
I learned so much to do things that are different. So the cool thing about every instructor I had there was, it wasn't like about showing their work. Some of them didn't show us their work ever, which was a little extreme, but there are great teachers out there, and you have to know who they are and stay away from the ones that really just want to show off their work. It's fun. It's fun to show your work, but that's not the only way to teach.
I completely agree. By the way, so I noticed your light, and I was like, God, I was going to comment on that. And for our audience, it's like the perfect, Rembrandt lighting almost?
It's not going in. Yeah, you see that triangle if I go like,
there it is. There it is. You've got like the shadow on the side.
They would be very proud of me at that school. Like, okay, she's not evenly lit. Your light's also really nice. It's just...
Oh, no, I've got this big thing here. So is there anything that our audience could benefit from? If you were to tell them one tip to think about black and white versus color photography, what is one thing you would leave them with? Or one thing that you might leave our audience with?
This is what I would say, and I will always, in Jewish tradition, you're always supposed to give credit to somebody that taught you something. So to make a little bit of a long story, when I switched from Nikon film cameras, and my husband and I went in and bought my first digital camera, the D70, the Nikon D70. I'm a Sony person now, but I was Nikon.
Me too.
I walked into the store on Jaffa Road, bought the camera, and then I said, okay, who's going to teach me this now? So one of the workers, his name is Uriah Tadmor. If he hears this, he'll know I gave him credit. He said, I will. So we started, I paid him for private lessons. We became very close friends. And one of the many, many things he taught me, I bet I alluded to a little at the beginning, was finding these very high contrast scenes, exposing for the highlights, which means you're really closing out the shadows. And I found that those shots are so beautiful and so much fun to change into black and white. It's the essence. And I love doing that in street photography because unless you're on an overcast day, then you're doing different kind of photos. But for the most part in this country, from March till October, quite often you've got strong sun. I love going out in the middle of the day, which is not the golden hour, it's not the blue hour, it's not sunrise. I go, I'm looking for harsh shadows. Look for extreme situations. It's counterintuitive because we're told to go out in the beautiful time. Look for those extreme situations, expose extremely, goes for the highlights, and develop those in your develop module or however you're post-processing in black and white. And I think it'll bring you a lot of satisfaction and beauty.
I've been doing a lot of beach photography, like beach scenes.
That for sure.
In harsh light, and I've enjoyed it. And
yes.
And then I kind of like try to fade out the photo a little bit. And I'm playing around. I'm trying to figure out how.
So much. I mean, there's so much. There's that you can. I don't use Photoshop too often. I use Lightroom 99.9% because I'm doing batches of events, and then I use the Lightroom as well for my street and landscape. But in the Photoshop program, there's all these cool monochrome. Monochrome isn't just black and white. Monochrome just means a tone, one tone. You can go into duotones. There's cool stuff you can do. And the same holds true. Those will look best and most interesting in those high contrast situations. They might also look good in other situations. But I'm asking everyone to go out in midday and look for alleyways and look for shafts of light coming through. And then kill it. Go extreme.
When I put this episode out, I'm going to do this and practice it and write my article about this.
Do it. It's fun.
All right, Rebecca. So I ask 3 questions of every guest on this podcast. You're a guest on this podcast. And so I've got 3 questions for you. You ready?
I'm waiting.
All right. First question is, what camera system do you use?
So I'm Sony all the way. My history was Pentax as a teenager, Nikon as the beginning of my professional Nikon film, Nikon digital. Then when I moved to mirrorless, I used Panasonic Lumix, which I loved. They didn't have full frame at the time. I moved to Sony, and I love Sony.
I love Sony too. When I started, I was using Canon, and then switched and loved it and never went back, obviously. Yeah. And then I have this little guy. He's awesome. It's a Ricoh GR3.
That's supposed to be fantastic to go out with street photography without me schlepping my... Maybe they'll sponsor me, Ken, for my YouTube.
If they sponsor you, we're going to be friends because this thing is amazing. I mean, we're friends, but we'll be really good friends.
We'll be better friends.
Okay. Better friends.
I'm going to work on that. I don't want the camera so much. I want to be better friends.
So this is a GR3. They just came out with a GR4 that's supposed to be even better. But this thing, it's, you put it in your pocket. No one takes you seriously because they think it's a toy. And the quality, it's just the quality is amazing. It's some of my best photos are with it. And
yes,
people are like, what do you take that with? You must have a nice camera. I'm like, that's my Ricoh.
I have so many things on my list. I need nothing. I have whatever I have, I can work with, but I have a lot of things on my list.
Yeah, me too. All right, question number 2, and I think I may have done these out of order. What's your favorite genre to shoot and why?
Whoa, that is a tough one. When I listen to business lectures, it's like, niche down. If you're an expert in wedding photography, an expert in this, that's not me. My son's a real estate agent, so I sometimes do photos of houses for him. I don't enjoy it. I do it to do it for him. But basically everything else I love. Street photography, event photography. I love being with people. I love the energy, give and take, and making them feel good and comfortable and having a great time. I love landscape photography. If you had a gun to my head and said I had to pick one, so it would either go event or street. And if it wasn't an issue of supporting myself, I'd probably say street.
All right. The third question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 10 being the most, how often do you get that burning itch, not to be confused with a burning itch, that burning itch to go out and shoot?
20. I am obsessive. Luckily, I have a wonderful husband and family. They put up with it. My husband has said, are we going to have a vacation where you do not take the camera? And I say, no.
I go through the same thing. It's gotten to the point where my wife, so we were in Nantucket last week, and my wife, it got to the point one day we were walking around and she's like, here, just, we're going to go over here. I'll see you in a few hours. And she just lets me go.
Yeah. You have to have a good spouse that really gets you. It's hard, but I'm always with the camera. Once in a while I'm not, but I have my phone. So I have the Samsung S25 Ultra. I use Expert RAW or Pro Mode. One of the biggest dilemmas I have is running in the morning. That's every day I work out. So if I go running, I'm missing the good light to take photos. But if I do the photography first, then I might not push myself to do the workout. So sometimes I compromise by running and I have the phone and it comes out a lot to get photos.
Rebecca, I do want everyone to know where they can find you, your website, your photography, and on YouTube, and just everything Rebecca Kowalsky.
Yeah. So the YouTube which is just so much fun that it's growing, is Rebecca Kowalsky Photo, RebeccaKowalsky Photo. The Facebook is Rebecca Kowalsky, same spelling. Instagram is Rebecca Co Photo. So it's 1B, 2 C's, as I said, RebeccaKophoto. Those are very active. My website is now focusing on my fine art, which people have ordered from. And that's my official company name, www.imagesthroughtime.com. The full word, THROUGH. And I'd love to hear from everybody. I really pay attention to the people that pay attention to me. I believe in going back and forth.
If you want to just get some amazing tips, if you want to catch a glimpse of that amazing Mediterranean light, if you just want to be entertained by Rebecca, check her out on YouTube and check out her photos on Instagram and everything in between. I'm really thankful. I've loved chatting with you. And again, I wish I could talk forever, but the more I talk, the more I have to edit, and then we're all in trouble.
I get it. I'm at a wedding. I'm like, stop taking pictures of 10 angles of it. Yes, I get it. This has been wonderful. Thanks for reaching out. And I think we're going to be photography friends forever. Well, I'm going to try to get the Ricoh though.
Do that. And if not, when I come over there, I'll let you use mine and you can see, and you'll fall in love. And then you're going to want to buy one.
And then I won't have a choice. Okay. Enjoy the kids, and thank you. And I look forward to being part of your community.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. Our next show will feature more valuable stories from our community members. If you'd like to audition to be a guest, please visit bigphotohunt.com for more information. Thanks again for listening today.